Joining us now to expand on this bizarre topic that's raising a lot of questions is expert on national security, Professor Alistair Edgar with Wilfrid Laurier University. Professor, what's going on with these unidentified objects? What do you think they are, and who do you think sent them?
Mix of answers to that. What we know about the first one and what we know less of about the second, third, and fourth that have recently been shot down. The first one, the massive balloon that was 200 feet high with an attachment that was the size of 3 school buses attached to it. And people don't get the scale of this. This was huge. That balloon we know was from China. They argued that it was a weather balloon that had gone off course, which is nonsense. The scope and scale and what was found on it when it was investigated by aircraft, I mean, it had an array of radar sensors, communications, intercept equipment, stuff like that on it. So that one really was a spy balloon. The second, third, and fourth objects were somewhat smaller, still a good size, but smaller at a lower level. At least 2 of them, we believe, did not have propulsion mechanisms. But it seems like they all, in one way or another, are more than likely to be some form of communication monitoring balloons.
When we hear UFOs, many of us think aliens. We heard officials say today that that's not the case, but still there are many questions. As a matter of national security, do you think Canadians and Americans will ever be given a straight answer as to what's going on?
Never 100%. But if the government wants to put pressure on China, for example, and embarrass it somewhat, they might give more information. If the U.S. government is trying to persuade China not to give as much support to Russia and therefore doesn't want to embarrass or alienate China, they may give less. It depends in part on the purpose of the information that's being given.
Top officials say the likely reason as to why there have been so many objects spotted in the last few days is because they're keeping a closer eye on the skies after that Chinese spy balloon. Is it possible that these objects have been flying above us for much longer than we've known about?
Sure, much longer than has been reported. If you want, in the press, in public, much more. Now, I'm not a high-tech guy in terms of NORAD's monitoring, but from what I understand, given the Chinese, the first balloon, the big one, NORAD is now reporting on more. So NORAD is there to look for incoming missiles, right? That a balloon is not a NORAD threat. But now NORAD is reporting on the balloons because they are surveillance issues, and they've been told to look out for them and report them. So I don't know whether there's more balloons. Certainly NORAD is now more willing to report on them. And what's really different is we're now more willing to shoot them down. That is the big difference, I think. Whether that's because we want to demonstrate to China or others that we're willing to do it, but DOD knows that they're there, but now we're willing to send up aircraft and fire a Sidewinder missile at them.
Thank you so much for joining us, Professor.
You're welcome. Happy to join you and happy to chat about this.